3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey guys, welcome back to Combat Champs. It's John
and Jeff.
And in this episode, we give our thoughts and opinions for the up-and-coming UFC Orlando and give our picks for the top 3 fights of the night.
The top 3 fights that we're more or less picking on discussing about today is the main event, which is Kevin Holland versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Co-main event, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Bryan Barberena. And the third fight we're more or less discussing is the heavyweight bangers, Tai Tuivasa versus Sergei Pavlovich.
Yeah.
So starting pretty much with the heavyweight boys.
Let's go.
Tai Tuivasa, Sergei. And this fight is going to be bananas.
Yeah.
Definitely my pick of the night. We have all the fights.
Yeah.
So we have basically Tai Tuivasa, who's basically come from a loss from his war against Cyril Gane during the France-Paris fight night.
Yeah.
Again, that fight was crazy. And I think he took so much damage to that fight.
Bro, you know what?
It was mad.
He was like, when he started off in that fight, he did well. Like, he was just putting the pressure on Cyril Gane. Wasn't trying to give him too much respect, you know. But when you see the size of both guys together, like, you see that Cyril Gane is just an gargantuan animal, but he's just a giant of a man,
as well.
man. Yeah, built like a freaking ox, man. And man, Tai did well in that fight. But like you said, after a certain round or two, I think Cyril Gane just took over, man, and just gave him a beat down, bro, man.
But besides that fight, before that fight, he came from a win against Derek Lewis, which another crazy fight, which he actually knocked out, which I think no one expected. We kind of expected it was a war, but that when he basically came in with that elbow and just slept in there, and I think it was the second round, that was crazy. So now basically his return fight against, my opinion, the dark horse of the heavyweight. That Sergei Pavlovich, he's, my opinion, highly underrated inside the division. This guy's he's not only that he's 6'2", 6'3" height, but his reach is crazy. He's
long,
84, 85 inches. I think he's pretty much one of the longest reached fighters besides John Jones in the division, in the whole USA organization. Yeah. And this guy he only lost against one fight, and that was against Alistair Overeem.
That was right at the beginning in his debut.
Yeah, towards the end. After that fight, he had like a basically run, just knocking out, piecing out everybody. And right now, I think he's basically on a 4-3 fight win streak.
Win streak, yeah.
So now basically, he's coming against a guy, Tai Tuivasa, which, again, also my opinion, is a killer, highly underrated. And to be honest, this fight is 50-50, but I would definitely have to go, I hate saying this, but I would definitely go with Sergei Pavlovich. I think, again, he's with his reach, his Greco wrestling, everything about it is just clean. There's no looping, everything is just like bang. His counters and points.
Does he have a background in wrestling as well?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
All these Russians.
That's why he's got Greco wrestling. So of course, he doesn't use it as often, but when he does, man, he's just dominating guys.
Yeah, he looks like it.
And so with this fight, I feel like it would definitely not go 3 rounds. My opinion, I think it would definitely be ended by the first or second round fight. They'll both be killing each other, going for heavy blows because they're both knockout kings. But my mind is more or less going with Pavlovich, I'd say.
I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go and say Tai wins this second round stoppage. Again, Tai does, he's just a fan favorite, man. Him, his celebrations, his walkouts all the time when he's walking out,
It's hilarious, man. He's having fun.
Come on, man.
Barbie girl?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He's a legend, bro.
He's lit.
My man's a legend, bro. And he always gives 110% in the octagon, no matter what, win or lose. And to be honest with you, I think like a lot of UFC fans right now, if he wins, we want him to bring out the shoey, bro, man.
Always.
Bring that shoey out, man. That's ritual right there.
That's ritual right there. But do you feel like he's going to put it a shoey against Pavlovich?
You know what, man? Like, in that fight, when you brought up Derek Lewis against Tai Tuivasa, in my honest opinion, I had Derek winning that. But look at Tai, bro. When he gets stuck into a wall, that's when the best comes out of him,
And also, and look at Pavlovich's last fight was against Derek Lewis, and he knocked his ass out
in the first round.
Exactly.
But again, that was a bit controversial because the referee kind of stopped that.
Nah, man, look. In my opinion, if you saw the slow motion, you know that
he was
Derek
hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt for sure. He was hurt for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
But he still managed to get up on his feet. And to be honest with you, if you're still able to come out on your feet, and, especially in the,
you're not going to be knocked out.
Yeah. Like you still got a chance, man. You still got a chance, especially the heavyweights. It only takes one to take you out, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I agree with you in the sense that I don't think there's going to go 3 rounds. I want to say that Tai wins this by TKO in the 2nd round.
Okay.
But this is definitely going to be one of those fights to remember in the heavyweight division. And definitely, I agree with you, probably fight of the night, for sure, 100%. And for the co-main event, we got the legend RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Bryan Barberena.
This fight is going to be a potentially fight of the night.
Oh, yeah.
RDA, future Hall of Famer, a legend, from lightweight to welterweight, has fought the best of the best. Names like Khabib, names like Eddie Alvarez, Tony Ferguson, Sergio Pettis, the current welterweight champion Leon Edwards. And
Usman.
oh man, you can name it crazy. He's been through them all. Some he lost, but others he actually did really well and came over the top. RDA, what can we say about him? He's basically former lightweight champion. And with this fight, he's more or less a great striker who implements a lot of his Muay Thai into it and also his kickboxing. But as well, highly underrated his wrestling and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I felt like he's going to also have to implement in this fight. Bryan Barberena, who's a great slugger, has been through plenty of wars and also have been won fights against Robbie Lawler, against Matt Brown. And he knows how to more or less just to be in the pocket, take punches, but also give them as well. So this fight will just be a banger, back and forth. This would definitely be, if this fight goes all the way to the 3rd round or beyond, finishing at the 3rd round, I'll be quite surprised because I feel like my opinion, RDA will edge it, will win it, whether it will be his submission, his takedowns, or more or less just his standing. Either way, I feel like with RDA, with his overall well-rounded fighting, I feel like there's no way he can't win, but I'm not taking anything away from Barberena. He can more or less just come out from nowhere and just, hurt RDA.
Swing for the fences, more or less,
You know what I mean?
For me, RDA, he's one of my all-time favorite UFC fighters of all time, From when I first saw him take on Anthony Perez for the lightweight UFC championship, at that point onwards, I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. Like you said, he's fought everyone that you can think of in 155 to 170. And when he goes inside the octagon, best believe that guy's going to give everything. He throws his kicks with venom, power punches are crazy. He hurts everyone and anyone that you can think of. And I can't think of anyone who's come out of the octagon thinking like, oh, this was a breeze. Nah, he gave everyone a war, win or lose.
That's for sure.
For me, I think RDA has all the abilities, the IQ, the experience, and the championship mentality, to go into these 3 rounds against Bryan Barberena and hopefully get the W. But again, I feel like at this point right now in his career, coming into his mid-late 30s now, I think this fight might have come 2-3 years late now for him. I feel like he's gone through so many wars, so many fights over the years that I think it's now starting to take a bit of a hold now. And I think with Bryan Barberena, like you said, he already took on and defeated 2 UFC Hall of Famers in Matt Brown and Robbie Lawler as well. And I feel like at this point right now, he's on a roll right now. My heart says RDA wins this all 3 rounds unanimously, but I've got the feeling that Bryan, like you said, with his mentality to go in there and slug it out, and don't forget he's got a chin as well. On top of that as well, he can take a punch as well, give one as well. I just feel right now, this moment in time, I feel Bryan Barberena is a little bit more fresher fighter out of the 2. And I do see him winning this all 3 rounds unanimously. But I do see RDA giving it a fight, So yeah, my heart says RDA, but my heart says Bryan Barberena in this fight.
Fair enough.
Can't wait.
Finally, the main event. Kevin Holland versus Wonderboy Stephen Thompson.
Bro.
This is hard to decide. Both fighters, we could easily say we both love these fighters. We appreciate how they fight, how they just go in octagon, and they're both awkward in their own style.
They got their own certain style of way of fighting and everything.
Like with Wonderboy, ever since he came into the organization, man, his stance, his karate stance, his taekwondo.
He's the only one that does it, bro.
Bro, at one point, I honestly thought like, who the heck can actually beat this guy with his style? He was just catching everyone with different angles, the way he brings his legs up, throwing a question mark kick. Everything is just beautiful. And so it was like, during one point, like I feel like a lot of fighters were trying to avoid him because they just didn't know how to deal with his stance.
For sure, 100%, 100%, yeah.
And so like, even though he's never changed up his style of fighting, he always gave every single fighter a difficult fight. And he even proves it when he fought against Tyron Woodley twice. Again, close fights, war at best as well. But, you know, there are times where, like, you know, he has issues with his takedown defense. Like, I feel like with every single striker's kryptonite, it's always a takedown defense. If they don't really work on it, of course, it's easy for them to get, you know, put on the ground and just, you know, ground and pound and just hold down it. But with this fight against Kevin Holland, I feel like there's hardly ever going to be any takedown. This is going to be more just like a striking, you know, who's much more quicker, who's got much more better footwork, and who more are willing to come up on top of this one here.
Step in the foul to get the W, right?
You know what I mean?
Kevin Holland, I mean, what can we say about this guy? This guy is he's a fan's favorite, we put it like that.
Absolutely.
Man. The guy's a G as well at the same time. Willing to fight anyone at any time, at any place, really. Look at his last fight against Hamzat. That was what, a last minute?
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't class as a loss. That was a win. Even though he did lose, the stock still went up.
No, of course. Like, obviously, Hamzat got the W, but at the same time, Kevin came in the last minute just to cover the fight that got pulled out at the time. But you gotta respect Kevin, man. Like, again, he's fought, you know, a lot of great fighters, you know, and got a lot of W's, but at the same time took a lot of L's as well. But as a fan favorite, he's always gonna go in there as well and give 100%, you know, no matter what. And he never refrains back to go in, you know, like tries, you know, to safely win a fight. He's always going in there to give a fight. Plus, I love the way when he talks. His ish inside the octagon while fighting.
It's hilarious. I love it.
That's just another show in its own right, man. In itself, man. He's just a character, a warrior, and just an all-round brilliant mixed martial artist, in my own opinion. With time, he's gone better and better as well, obviously, because at the beginning, when he first started, he was very one-dimensional, didn't have no ground game whatsoever, and really, like, a lot of UFC fighters were really taking advantage of that because he had no ground game whatsoever. But with time, he's gone better and better. And in his striking, he's always had decent striking. But again, when you compare it to Wonder Boy, his taekwondo/karate style and stance, it's levels to it, man. It's just levels to it, really, man.
But you know what it is? When Wonder Boy got knocked out by Sergei Pavlovich with that
Superman punch, you know?
I feel like this is what Kevin Holland basically has an up against Wonder Boy. Because Kevin Holland, he's tall. He's only like 6'2".
And he's long.
He's long. He's got pretty much an 81, 82 reach. So I feel like for Kevin Holland, even though like he may not be lying on his feet consistently, which he is, but he's not, you know, he doesn't have that taekwondo stance, you know. But I feel like with his cross, he's just clean with his boxing. I feel like if Steve Wonder Boy Morris comes in his range, I feel like that just right straight cross, which, you know, knocked out Joaquin Buckley. Like, because that could just be there easily. And it showcased that Wonder Boy can get touch as well.
Yeah, he can,
and he doesn't expect it.
Absolutely.
So I feel with Kevin Holland, I thought, he would definitely may have some problems trying to find the range, but eventually it's just that split second that will just catch him, and then from that point on, I think Kevin can definitely get the knockout by round 2, to be honest. I really think. I feel it wouldn't take that long for Kevin to just be there. Like, you know what? Got him on range, bang, catch him, ground and pound, done and dusted.
Like, here's the thing, Wonder Boy now is 39 years old, almost 40. Man. He's coming to the
end of his career now.
Yeah, the last years of his career now. But again, he's still got that difficult stance to get past, you know, because obviously the first thing to get past Wonder Boy is his feet. You know, like his leg kicks, you know, to keep the distance from his opponent. That's always the hardest thing to get over. And once you get over that, then you have to deal with his hands. And his hands are always low. You don't know where they're going to come, how they're going to touch you and everything. Like, there's always question, like, you're always thinking in terms of being in the octagon fighting this type of guy. You always have to be careful, like, what's he going to do? Like, you know, like his feints, all these type of things that he does at the octagon is like elite level. But Kevin Holland, like you said, if he's coming at you, and hopefully he doesn't do too much of a typical boxing stance, does like his own little awkward type of switch style and you know, 1-2-3s and everything like that. Hopefully he does something like that, because if he's just coming forward, I think Wonder Boy will piece him up bit by bit, man.
I can see that.
And I do see Kevin Holland getting frustrated as well with time, because I think everyone gets frustrated. Like, dealing with Wonder Boy style and everything, no matter who you are.
Okay.
So predictions. I'm gonna lean towards a 5-round unanimous decision for Wonder Boy Thompson.
Okay.
But I can see Kevin Holland getting the W as well. But at this moment in time, I still edge it towards Wonder Boy, man.
Yeah, we gotta wait and see and find out.
Yeah,
this week, that's for sure.
But guys, let us know what you think about our predictions. Let us know what you think is a great fight in that card, because there's so many. And who do you think will come out on top in the main co and in the third fight that we spoke about between Tai Tuivasa and Pavlovich? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.